Over the last decade, there was arguably no pitcher who had a more dominant peak than Jacob deGrom. At his best, deGrom wasn't just the best pitcher in baseball, he was operating on a level the sport had rarely, if ever, seen. And yet the path that led him there was anything but conventional. deGrom came to pitching late in his baseball career, starting his career at Stetson as a shortstop. Even after flashing promise as a pitcher in summer ball, deGrom's results at Stetson were far from overwhelming. In his junior season, he threw just over 82 innings with a 4.49 ERA and struck out barely 6 batters per 9 innings. Despite those relatively pedestrian numbers, the New York Mets selected Jacob deGrom in the 9th round of the 2010 MLB Draft, a decision that would quietly become one of the biggest steals of the decade. After overcoming a torn UCL early in his professional career, deGrom rocketed through the Mets minor league system and made his major league debut in May of 2014. What followed was immediate success. deGrom won the National League Rookie of the Year award in 2014, made multiple All-Star teams, and quickly established himself as one of the most reliable frontline starters in baseball. From 2014 to 2017, deGrom threw 680 and 2/3 innings, posting a 2.98 ERA, a 3.07 fielding independent pitching, or FIP, a 78 ERA minus, 22% better than league average, 9.67 strikeouts per 9 innings, a 1.12 whip, while accruing 15.5 Fangraphs WAR. Among pitchers with at least 500 innings pitched between 2014 and 2017, deGrom ranked 8th in ERA and FIP, 9th in strikeouts per 9 innings, and 13 in Fangraph WAR. In just a short period of time, deGrom had cemented himself as one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. deGrom followed up a great start to a career with one of the most dominant pitching stretches in the history of baseball. From 2018 to 2021, Jacob deGrom was in a league of his own. In 581 innings, Jacob deGrom pitched to a 1.94 ERA, a 2.14 FIP, an ERA minus of 48, 11.99 strikeouts per 9 innings, a strikeout-to-walk ratio of 6.5, and accrued 23.5 FWAR. Among pitchers with at least 500 innings pitched during this period, deGrom was first in ERA, FIP, ERA minus, strikeout-to-walk ratio, and FWAR, while finishing third in strikeouts per 9 innings. deGrom's dominance was recognized with 3 All-Star appearances and 3 top 3 finishes in Cy Young Award voting, including back-to-back Cy Young Awards in 2018 and 2019. Even after winning Cy Young Awards in 2018 and 2019 and finishing third in 2020, those seasons pale in comparison to what deGrom produced in 2021, a season that may represent the most dominant pitching performance the sport has ever seen. What do I mean by dominance? When I use that word, I don't mean volume or longevity. To me, it's about how completely a pitcher controls each inning they throw, how little chance opposing hitters have to do anything at all. When we think of all-time great seasons for a pitcher, we think of Pedro Martinez in 1999 and 2000, seasons in which a player combines virtually untouchable stuff with longevity. For this reason, deGrom's 2021 does not fit the criteria of an all-time great pitching season because it lacked the necessary volume to do so. deGrom threw just 92 innings in 2021, but what he did in those innings is what makes it the most dominant a pitcher has ever been. Given the small sample size, deGrom's counting stats won't underscore his greatness. Rather, we have to look at rate stats in order to appreciate his dominance. In those 92 innings, deGrom pitched to a 1.08 ERA, which represented a 27 ERA minus, a 1.24 FIP, which represented a FIP minus of 29, a strikeout percentage of 45.1%, a strikeout minus walk percentage of 41.7%, a whip of just 0.55, and an opponent's batting average against of 128. While these stats on their own appear ridiculous, we need to place it in its historical context to underscore the dominance. When we look at all of the statistics shown above, among pitchers who have thrown at least 90 innings pitched in a season since integration, deGrom's 2021 is the all-time single-season leader. If his dominance wasn't demonstrated from these stats alone, let's look at a stat that is meant to capture value, wins above replacement, or WAR. When we look at deGrom's 2021 season, he accumulated an FWAR of 4.9. Fantastic in a full season, but otherworldly given the small sample size. To place in a context how remarkable his value was on a per-inning basis, we can consider WAR per inning pitched. This is a simple stat that divides a pitcher's WAR by the amount of innings pitched to assess per inning or marginal inning value. This time, expanding to encompass all seasons from a pitcher with at least 90 innings pitched in MLB history, we see that deGrom's 2021 season ranks second on the list, falling just behind Pedro Martinez's 1999 season. Funnily enough, if we use Baseball Reference WAR instead of Fangraphs WAR, while deGrom's 2021 WAR per innings pitched exceeded Martinez's 1999 season, Martinez's 2000 season tops the list. Martinez's F-WAR in 1999 is higher than his 2000 F-WAR, 11.6 versus 9.4, as the Fangraph pitcher WAR equation uses FIP rather than ERA. For Baseball Reference WAR, Martinez's 2000 is higher since Baseball Reference uses ERA rather than FIP. This proves two things. Firstly, Martinez's 1999 and 2000 seasons are arguably the greatest stretch of baseball for a pitcher ever. And secondly, however you look at it on a per-inning basis, deGrom's 2021 is one of the most valuable seasons of all time. But dominance is more than just data and statistics. It's something you can see with your own eyes. Every time deGrom took the mound in 2021, you felt as though he might throw a no-hitter, and you were almost shocked when the opponent scratched out a run against him. In 2021, deGrom essentially operated with a three-pitch arsenal, and every pitch was elite. His four-seam fastball averaged 99.2 miles per hour, the highest average velocity of any pitcher in baseball. His slider, a true wipeout pitch, averaged 91.6 miles per hour with a 59% whiff rate, and graded as one of the best pitches in the sport. And his changeup, thrown at an absurd 91.4 miles per hour, generated a 50% whiff rate on its own. But deGrom's dominance wasn't just about velocity. It was also about how those pitches worked together. His exceptional pitch tunneling made his high-velocity fastball and devastating slider look nearly identical out of his hand. In this pitching ninja overlay, a 100-mile-per-hour fastball and a 96-mile-per-hour slider follow virtually the same path until they're nearly halfway to home plate, before the slider suddenly disappears. When pitches this fast look the same for that long, hitters simply don't have time to react. It's easy to see how everything in deGrom's arsenal played off itself to make him practically untouchable. In 2021, batters facing deGrom slash 129, 160, and 240, good for an abysmal 402 OPS. This becomes even crazier when juxtaposing it against deGrom's offensive output. In 2021, deGrom the hitter slash 364, 364, and 394, giving him a 758 OPS, good for a 110 WRC+. From hitting alone, deGrom added an additional 0.4 Fangraphs WAR in just 33 plate appearances. While this is obviously ridiculous, such a strong slash line for a pitcher is not improbable given that we're talking about a sample size of just 33 plate appearances. However, this meant that in 2021, Jacob deGrom the hitter had 12 hits. In contrast, Jacob deGrom as a pitcher allowed 11 earned runs, meaning that in 2021, deGrom had more hits as a batter than he allowed earned runs as a pitcher. It gets even crazier when we consider deGrom's game log in 2021. Through 12 starts, deGrom had thrown 72 innings, allowing just 4 earned runs. At that same point in the season, deGrom had 6 RBIs as a hitter, meaning that he had produced more runs offensively than he allowed as a pitcher. For deGrom's 2021 standards, he finished the season poorly, allowing 7 earned runs in his final 20 innings pitched, hurt by the home run ball. However, even during his worst stretch of the season, deGrom still struck out 29 batters in those 20 innings, walking just 1. The obvious counterpoint to deGrom's dominance is durability. He didn't throw enough innings in 2021 to qualify for traditional leaderboards, and he never had the chance to turn that season into a complete body of work. But dominance isn't about longevity. It's about how completely you control the game while you're on the mound. And in 2021, no pitcher in baseball controlled the game the way Jacob deGrom did. Every start felt inevitable. Every at-bat felt hopeless. For 92 innings, hitters weren't just overmatched. They were playing a different sport altogether. And while the season ended early, the level deGrom reached during it stands as one of the most overwhelming displays of pitching the sport has ever seen. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. It would really help the channel continue to grow. Thank you, and see you again next video.